If I lose my penis, then you would hear a drama queen.
Or
I
it would be no difference.
No,
Excuse you?
Okay, so we're back with a new movie that we found on Netflix. It's exclusive on Netflix. Autumn got a boner for me to say that, so I'm doing it.
Yeah, well done. I'm not getting paid by Netflix, by the way.
No, exactly. That's why we shouldn't mention it. We don't get anything. We only pay Netflix money.
Yeah, it's a sad life.
Exactly. But we got to see this movie at least, and the name of the movie is called The Package. It's a double entendre because they're delivering a dick and also a package. So
Yeah.
even the title is a joke. Don't
It's
we like
very
that?
clever. Just like Girls with Balls. That's also very clever.
Exactly. It's so deep. It really catches you. It's almost poetic.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing this movie has, it's intelligence.
Exactly. So now that we have gotten the sarcasm out of the way, let's proceed to when it was released. It was released in 2018, so it's a relative new movie. There are new movies all the time, Netflix. So 2 years is almost like eternity, right? It's like there's always new stuff coming up. This movie was directed by a guy called Jake Szymanski. Don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but I think it's good enough.
Yes.
The writers are Kevin Burrows and Matt Miner. Before we start to talk about the characters and the plot and whatnot, I gotta say that when I was watching this movie, I got a feeling that Adam Devine was involved in this movie. Do you know him?
No, I don't think so.
He's a funny guy. I really like him. He was in this movie called Game Over Man, which is also available on Netflix, and it's basically the same kind of movie, you know, with the jokes and how the people are acting and behaving on screen. So when I checked the movie, when I was like doing some fast research, I wanted to see if Adam Devine was involved in this movie as well. And he actually was, not as a writer or director, but as a producer. So I don't know how much say the producer gets in the screenwriting room, but I'm guessing that since he is on set, he can guarantee, you know, say stuff that gets like involved in the movie. Yeah, I just want to say that I like Adam Devine and I can feel his presence in the movie. That's pretty much it.
That's deep, man.
Yeah, no, but it's a good movie. You should check it out. Goodish movie, goodish. Like this one. This is not a bad movie. It's a nice movie.
So if you would rate Game Over Man here and now, what score would you give it?
That's not fair. It's a long time since I saw it, but I believe I laughed a lot, and there's no one listening to these episodes anyway, so I can say total a 7. Like it's really funny, you know. It's a long time since I saw it, but it's really funny. I believe it was. You get to see Adam Devine's dick in the movie too, if you're into that.
So that's why you watch.
Yeah, that's how it got a 7, because he got 7 inches.
Oh.
I mean, it's good that we're throwing dick jokes in here, because they can like move on to the movie at least, because this movie is just one eternal dick joke, right?
Yeah, maybe we should actually describe the plot a bit before we confuse people.
I know, but it's always, you know, it's easy to get, you know, excited to talk about it, which I am. So let's discuss the plot first, because it's a pretty simple plot. So Adam, I'm going to give this to you. Bring it.
So it's about a group of 5 teenagers they go together to the forest, pretty far away somewhere, because they're gonna party. And they do. And when drunk, one of them accidentally manages to cut off his dick. And he gets taken by helicopter to the hospital. Only that his friends don't realize that they didn't actually bring his dick. So the movie is about them trying to bring him his dick so they can perform surgery and put it back on before it's like too late and it's no longer possible.
Exactly. Very good described, Adam.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So, with that said, I really want to make comments already, but let's move on to the characters. The people need to know which one we're talking about. We are getting introduced to the character relatively fast in this movie. I mean, I think we know the characters within 5 minutes, and these are all the characters that you need to know in the movie, and then they just like move on with the movie. But the first character that we get to see is Sean. I have written in my notes that he's the German guy. Who is Sean, Ruben?
Okay, Sean is an exchange student. He's been in Germany for a while, and now he's back for a week or two to party with his friends, and he basically wants to nail one of his friends' sister.
Exactly. That's basically all he wants to do, besides his stupid jokes throughout the movie. But the feeling is that he's quite the calm guy. He's not the party crazy guy. He seems to be, almost at the nerdy way, I would say.
A nice and respectful guy.
Yeah, a nerd.
Yeah.
Right,
Nerd.
Adam. High five.
Oh.
Let's move on to the character that he wants to bone, and her name is Becky. I've written here in my notes, Indian girl friend, which I now realize is a bit racist. It's Native American, and also she's from Australia. But it doesn't matter. It's my notes, and there's nothing you can do about it. But who is Becky, Adam?
Yeah, she is the sister of this other guy, Jeremy, that always tags along. And as Ben said, Becky is the love interest of Sean, and it seems they have some history where they have this crush on each other, but it has never really worked out. And as a character, Becky seems to be like a pretty responsible kind of girl, I guess.
Don't know. Becky seems to be quite the forward girl. But as you said, it explains pretty early in the movie that Becky had a thing for Sean as well. So, but that Sean kind of effed it up, and she got together with another dude. And that guy was a douche, and of course his name is Shad.
I also thought that was very funny.
Isn't that the most douche name ever?
Yeah, do you know the Shad memes?
The Shad?
Yeah, there are memes about the Shad.
Oh, right. That's possible. We can discuss memes too if you want to.
Maybe we can do it later.
Let's do a meme episode once.
That would be funny.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Let's move on to the third character, and I have written here in my notes Ed Sheeran. Why is that so? Well, you don't know, but what's your guess, Ruben?
Well, they call him that because he kind of looks like him, but like an uglier version, I guess.
I mean, there was a really funny joke in the beginning about him and his mustache, which I actually genuinely thought was funny. He is redhead and he has like a small mustache that's not really grown properly, and that's an ongoing joke throughout the movie, besides the dick jokes, of course. But Donnie is he has a thing for Sarah, the other girl that we're going to talk about. And that's basically it. Would you say that he is the comic relief in this movie?
Probably.
I would say that there are several comic reliefs, so I guess he's one of them.
Exactly, but he, for me, I kind of got a feeling that without him, the movie had been much worse because I really like this character because he's not stupid and he's not dumb, but he's like funny for real. Like you could see through the way that he's acting that I think is funny in real life.
Yeah, I can also say that it feels like without him, the other characters wouldn't have been as funny either.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe comic relief isn't the correct word, but he's very important for the other characters. He's a supporting character.
He's like the comic glue that keeps the others together.
Right. Okay, that's a good explanation. So, and he wants to do it with Sarah. And who is Sarah?
So Sarah is this other girl that tags along, and she and Donnie had a thing in the past, but they broke up. And when the movie starts, they are fighting, and Donnie was not happy about the fact that she was going to tag along on this trip. And Sarah is honestly a bit of a bitch, I think.
Yeah, I had a hard time defining her because she is the most bland character in this movie. She doesn't really stick out that much.
No, she's definitely the most forgettable character out of all of them.
Yeah, if it hadn't been because of the writers wanting a love story between these two couples, I think they could have done without her.
She honestly didn't bring that much because Donnie could have talked to her a few times over the phone throughout the whole movie, and it would have served the same purpose. She didn't actually have to be there.
Yeah, the phone plot thing wouldn't work, because they're out in the forest. But yeah, I see your point.
Yeah, I didn't mean literally, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's also like the Becky's best friend, so they have to have those kind of girl talks too, I guess.
Yeah, she absolutely has a function, but if you had to remove one character, you will definitely choose her.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we have the last character. He gets the least screen time, but I think he's really funny. His name is Jeremy in the movie, and he gets his dick cut off in a stupid way, but that's what happens.
I like him. He's my favorite in this movie.
He's acting really. He is the stupid guy. You always have to have a stupid guy in a movie or this kind of comedies, but he does it really well. He's very casual, I would say.
Yeah, and he's very dramatic about his penis once he loses it.
Exactly.
Well, wouldn't you be?
Oh, I would be. If I lose my penis, then you would hear a drama queen.
Or it would be no difference.
Excuse you?
Yeah, exactly. I think that would have benefited you if.
I'm not gonna sit here and just accept this.
No, exactly. You leave the podcast in outrage. But let's
would, but that would prove your point, so I'm not gonna do it.
Let's walk through the movie. As I said before, the characters are introduced very early and very fast in the movie. And for me, the first 15 minutes, or I don't know if it's 15 minutes, because a lot of things are happening pretty fast in the movie, which I really liked. But the first things that happens in the movie is that the characters get introduced. They explain that they're going to camp outside in the wilderness for I don't know how long, but a week, I guess, and party. And then he accidentally gets drunk and cut his dick off. And the characters here behave like you would do. I mean, with some sort of, generalization. They call they call 911 and they get the chopper there to get the injured Jeremy and also his dick in order to get it reattached.
Yeah.
So everything that's happened from when movie starts until this happens, I think this is a really good movie, and I think they're acting really good, and also like the characters are acting really good, like you should have. And then of course something stupid happens because the movie cannot end here. That would have been strange. I know you, Ruben, you made a comment of what is supposed to happen now because the entire movie seemed to be over.
Yeah, they probably solved everything within 20 minutes.
Yeah,
So
exactly, which
it
was
felt
very
like it
surprising.
was, yeah, it felt like it was smooth sailing all the way through, and then it was over. But of course, something has to happen.
Yeah, but all throughout the first 20 minutes, as you say, you kind of just waiting for that bad stuff to happen, but it never really happens. And when the reception is out and they can't call 911, I'm just thinking, okay, this is the problem and I need to carry him or whatever. But then they solve that and they get reception and they can call 911, and then a shopper arrives and they don't see it at first. And I thought, okay, maybe that's the problem. The shopper misses them, but it goes back and fetches the guy. And then when he pull up to the guy, I'm thinking, okay, here is what's going to happen. Something is going to crash or anything. But no, nothing happens there either. They just leave and everything is okay. Everything
Yeah.
managed to turn out good.
Yeah, and they end up at the hospital as they should.
Yeah, exactly. And what happens? Something must have happened for this movie to continue. So what happens?
Well, they put his dick in a cooler full of ice, and apparently they had a second cooler with beer in it. So they bring the wrong cooler to the paramedic, and they leave with the wrong cooler. So
Right.
his dick is still in the forest.
Yeah. This is for me a bit cheap.
Yeah.
Because there's like no way in hell that emergency guys wouldn't check that. And also you would open up the box and look at the dick and say, okay, this is the right one, and hand it over.
You are right
I did
that they would check, but on the other hand, it's a comedy, so.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't even realize that they had a second box until it happened.
Yeah, but you can see in the beginning when they're walking towards this place where they're camping, you can see Donnie, I think, is holding two.
Yeah, they actually had two by the car also when they started walking.
Exactly. So
Never realized.
No, it's a bit subtle, but they had two. Otherwise, this would have failed pretty hard.
Yeah, because I only thought they had one, because when they find the dick and put it in the cooler, they throw out all the beers. So I just figured, okay, they only have one.
Were you thinking about the waste of not cooling the beer in that situation?
I couldn't care less about his dick.
Yeah. Now I feel bad that I didn't think about that. Okay, well, let's move on. Okay, so the paramedics they noticed in the hospital that this is the wrong box and there's no dick in it. There's a beer in it, and they think that they also choose to do some small product placement, which is fine. It works.
Yeah, maybe it's not even a real beer. Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe not. What happens then? Because now they have to solve the problem of having a dick in a box where they need to get to a hospital when they're middle out in nowhere.
Yeah, well, they aren't exactly being careful with it because along the way they like drop it and it gets bitten by a viper. They jump with it into a lake, and what else happens? They begin to travel, at least because they need to travel from the camp to the hospital, and it's a bit of a trek.
Yeah, and it's also because the paramedic that gets their friend tells them to hike down to their car and drive to the hospital and meet them there. And so they think that since the paramedic told them to do that, they're not still at the same place, so they need to hurry to get to the hospital.
And there's one scene where they're looking up in the sky and they can actually see the chopper arrive again or go back to the site where they were left off. And I thought that was really good because that's exactly what they would have done. They would have gone back to the exact same place.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I can't blame them for leaving either, because if you panic, like, oh shit, if it doesn't get this in 12 hours, then it's going to be too late. And I think it's natural they would panic and just, instead of waiting, it would just like begin to walk down.
Yeah.
Right. It's a hard choice, really. It's like being stuck between a hard place and a rock, or whatever the expression is. But okay, so they're kind of abusing the dick, and I gotta say, after all the stuff that's happening to that dick, there is no way in hell that wouldn't have gone, infected or die or started to rot or anything.
No.
But they clean up the dick and they bring it to the hospital. And here is what I don't really like. I kind of drifted off, I think the beginning of the movie is pretty good, and I think the middle of the movie is pretty good, but the middle to the end, I think there's so many, it's the same stuff happening all over again, and you have gotten tired of the dick jokes at this end, and there's really nothing new happening.
Yeah, I get you. It kind of loses, shall we say, it loses the momentum it had at the start.
Right. And when you heard dick for the 500th time, you kind of, okay, I get it. It's funny to carry around a dick and play around with it and stuff, but it gets old.
Yeah, when they start going from hospital to hospital, it's kind of boring.
Yeah, it's getting done. I mean, they do it like 5 or 6 times. I think it's happening all the time.
Yeah, and then they take to the hospital and they say that have the dick for transplant, and the doctors are like, oh great, we've been waiting for that. And then turns out that in that hospital there was another penis patient, so they attached his dick to the wrong guy.
Yeah. How did you predict that?
I did actually, when they
Yeah, me
entered
too.
and they just said we have the dick. Oh, we've been waiting for it, and they didn't mention any
Exactly.
names or anything.
Exactly. The way that they are presenting the joke in that way, that is starting up the joke, you understand directly that this dick is going to be going to the wrong patient.
And also there was 40 minutes left, so
Yeah,
40
that
minutes.
too.
Oh, right. Yeah, I didn't really think about that. Yeah, but at least it was pretty predictable, that joke. And yeah, the dick gets sewed on the wrong guy, and some more stuff happens, and the dick kind of falls off again.
Yeah, they get it back.
Strange
as that sounds.
Yeah, see the movie, they get it back, and
they finally end. Yeah, they finally end up at the first hospital they were at. Annoyingly.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're going around in a circle, and they realize something that makes them understand that maybe they wrote him up in the wrong name, and they call the hospital and ask for that instead, and voila, he's laying at the first hospital. So they get the dick reattached to him, and all is good, I think, right?
Yeah, and all the people get together to be boyfriend and girlfriend, and then
exactly everything ends up the way that you thought it would.
It's a very happy ending.
Right. Yeah, pun unintended, I guess. Okay, so
but there were some funny scenes that we should probably talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the jokes are the central part of this movie. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the way that they're acting. There's nothing wrong with the script. There's nothing wrong with the dialogue. There's nothing wrong with the environment. There's nothing wrong with anything. I would say, in that sense, it's coming down to the jokes. So, what do you want to talk about scene-wise?
There were 2 scenes that stick out in my mind, at least. It's the first thing with the Viper, that they think the penis gets poisoned by the viper.
Yeah, why do you like that one?
Well, it's funny. They think they have to suck out the venom from the dick, so they go through all this hullabaloo. Who's going to suck it off, and it ends up being Sean, and he wants to be in private. And a drone flies by, and they go into the house to tell him that he needs to hurry, and they find him sucking the dick and stuff. It's pretty funny.
The sound that he makes is really disgusting. It kind of sounds like he's slurping up the last part of a soda or something.
It's also funny how they set up to be a really tragic scene by how they leave him alone in that house with the dick, and they talk like they're never gonna see him again.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel for him. That would have been like the worst thing to do.
It sounds like he's eating a lobster in there or something.
Right, exactly. So, Adam, do you got anything?
And
I thought the first scene was really funny too. When they are at Sean's house and Donnie hijacks the Wi-Fi and he begins to play a porno with a fat actress on the TV while Sean's family is watching it, and they begin to panic.
Yeah,
they do
That was
a recap to that joke, which I liked in the end, telling his father to get his act together and fix the password for the Wi-Fi, and he doesn't know how. It's really good. I like referencing. I like when they reference back to something. I'm really sucker for that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a movie or general discussing between friends. I really like the referencing.
So did you have any scene you liked extra much?
Extra much? I mean, I think that I really liked Becky. I mean, I think she was a really good character. So every scene that she was in, I think boosted the entire season because she's really funny, and she's really a butch of a girl, so I really liked her and whatever scenes she was in. You don't really expect a girl acting like she does, but she's really good at it. I've seen her in another movie. I can't remember the name of it, but she's acting exactly the same. She has no problem of talking about sex or behaving like a man stereotypically would do.
Yep, she's feisty.
Yeah, she's good.
The scene where they give the kid trauma is pretty funny.
Yeah.
You need to explain the scene.
As I said before, they found this drone. They follow it to this little kid. He's like 11 or something. And he is by the lake with his dad. His dad is off fishing somewhere. So he's by himself by the boat. And they want to borrow the boat so they can get to the hospital faster. So he tells them that they have to show him stuff for him to give them the keys to the boat. So they think they need to show him boobs and stuff, but that's not good enough for him. He wants to see dirtier stuff, and they get desperate and they show him the dick and shove it up his face and tells him like, we cut off dicks and we suck dicks as well, and he gets traumatized. And they steal the boat.
Yeah, I agree. It's great. The kid is really awful, so he kind of deserves it in a way.
Yeah.
They also slap him, but he deserved it.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Otherwise, I think we should rate the movie.
One thing I found interesting also is at the very beginning, when Sean first meets Donnie, and he comments Donnie's mustache that he looks like a Narcos character. The thing I think is interesting that is that Narcos is also a Netflix exclusive show, so they're basically promoting their own show in their Netflix exclusive movie.
Okay, good catch.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting at least, just a minor thing.
Yeah,
it's probably good for them.
But let's rate the movie. What do you think, Ruben?
Well, it's actually a lot more fun than I thought it would be. The jokes were pretty fun, up to a point at least, and a lot of unexpected things happened, and also quite a few expected things, I guess. But overall, it was pretty entertaining, and the actors were good. It just started to get a bit samey towards the end, and it was pretty predictable plot-wise what was going to happen. But I had a pretty good time, so I guess I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10.
Cool. Adam?
Yeah, it had a really strong beginning, and it slows down a bit later towards the middle, but it had a lot of funny moments, and I can't say I expected much of this movie when I first saw it, but I was pleasantly surprised. This one is way better than most movies we watch on this show. So I'm also gonna give it 7 out of 10.
Yeah, right. This package movie, it's a dirty joke with an absurd premise, but it's also pretty funny for what it is. It's far from horrible. It's far from the worst thing we've seen. Other way around, I think it's pretty funny. I mean, as I said, the jokes kind of get old in the end, but in the beginning to the middle of the movie, I would say it's really funny. And as I said, the acting and the script and everything in this movie is really good. It's really high quality. So I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, in comparison to all the other things we've seen, so it would almost be unfair to it.
I mean, it is way better than most things here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you have it. And as always, see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.